Hi, I'm Ethan. I love muzzleloading, and this is your muzzleloading news for May 2022. I think one of the first things at the top of everybody's minds right now is the availability of black powder. I want to say I talked to Shoots and Energetics just a couple weeks ago, and it looks like we're on track to have another shipment of European black powder under the Swiss and Shoots brands hit the US and be available at distributors sometime here in June, probably looking at mid-June for the arrival of that powder to the distributors across the United States. So if you're looking for black powder, there's some on the way. According to the interview that we did with Shoots and Energetics there, they said that they are changing what they're ordering from Europe to keep up with demand of certain powders. So if you saw that like 2F and 3F sold out super fast, know that they are recognizing that and doing their best to supply that demand with the shipments that are coming over this summer. Caps are another thing that everybody is looking for and having trouble finding. I get a lot of questions about caps right now, and I want to say that I really don't have any information on when percussion caps, especially those number 11 caps, are going to be available. Shoots and Energetics is doing their best to import European caps, and a lot of times you're seeing the 1075 caps coming from Shoots and Energetics here in the States, but number 11s are still hard to find. The last I heard about number 11 percussion caps in particular was back in 2020, when sources were reporting that we could see them back into production and on store shelves by fall of 2022. Then that was a 2-year wait for them, because now we're seeing more logistics and supply chain issues, as well as war now in Europe, and that kind of shifting arms manufacturing right now. I don't know that that estimation from 2020 can still hold up. So I'm trying to find out some more information on when these could be back, but right now I don't have a whole lot to report there. Blackhorn 209 is also still hard to find, so if you've got a modern muzzleloader right now, really your only options are going to be Pyrodex or 777. That doesn't do a lot to help those of you with some of the higher end modern muzzleloaders that are needing that Blackhorn 209 for its efficiency and its high burn temperature and velocities and things. Hodgdon has put out a few statements about this, saying that it's an issue with the company or the manufacturing facility that manufactures Blackhorn 209, and it's nothing that they can do right now to change that production timeline and get powder on store shelves earlier. The estimations that we're getting now are that there'll be Blackhorn 209 available by the time we get into the hunting seasons coming up, starting really in August out west. But it's going to be another year, I'm afraid, here of kind of stringent Blackhorn 209 supplies. Now, Hodgdon has said that they're working to alleviate the issues that led up to this current shortage. I don't know if that means an additional manufacturing facility or some changes at the manufacturing facility currently making Blackhorn 209, but hopefully we can see some more stable production going into 2023. Really don't like reporting on stuff like this because I'm trying to stay positive, but I think it's important to keep everybody informed here. There's not really a whole lot we can do right now other than wait and seek out some of the items as they come in. Now, I will say that I have heard through the grapevine that some of the distributors and carriers of Blackhorn 209 are looking to have some more in sometime this summer, like I said, before we get into the fall hunting season. So keep a lookout. Contact your local distributors or your local gun shops and see if they have any insight. That's really going to be the best that you can do right now to find some of these items. Now, along with the shortages and the limited availability of these items, we're seeing a lot of scams and rip-off sites being populated now and taking a lot of people's money. So I want to touch on that for just a minute. On the forums, I get emails about it. I see comments and message threads on the Facebook groups and things about new shops and things that have everything in supply. They have everything that you want. They have reasonable prices. They have fast shipping. It's really a dream come true for anybody into muzzleloading and shooting sports in general right now. But odds are these sites, if they're not a reputable name that you know and that you've been dealing with, odds are that they're a scam. So we had a couple pop up in some of the Facebook groups and some of the forums here lately. And I want to point out a few of the things that you need to check when you're looking at purchasing supplies from one of these pop-up, unrecognizable named shops. The first thing is going to be the name or the URL. A lot of times these scammer sites are going to put the name of a reputable, well-known brand like Glock, like Smith & Wesson, like Thompson Center, like anything, into their name and their URL to make you think that they are a reputable brand or they're even an extension of that brand. 99.9% of the time they aren't. And you need to check and make sure about this, because they will take your money and they will never ship anything. The second thing to look out for is going to be the supplies and what they have available. These pop-up shops have everything anybody could possibly want in stock, ready to ship, they say, and for affordable pre-COVID prices. That should be a giant red flag for you if you're looking for especially percussion caps right now, like a lot of people are that are getting scammed here. They're seeing percussion caps available in the 10,000 number quantity for pre-2019 prices, and that's just not the case. It's not happening right now. Now, some of your shops and some of your well-known distributors might be getting some of this stuff in. You know, somebody finds some in a warehouse, or a sales rep finds some stuff and gets it shipped out. But odds are it's not the case. The third thing to look out for these shops is going to be the payment options that they take. These scam sites are offering or taking payments in every payment platform possible. They're going to do PayPal, they're going to do Zelle, they're going to do Venmo, they're going to do Bitcoin or other cryptocurrency, as well as all the major credit cards and debit cards. You should know that if a firearms or muzzleloading or shooting sports supply shop that sells arms or bullets or primers or anything, cases, powders, whatever, if they say that they take PayPal, they're going to be a scam or a manipulating site. This isn't necessarily for those folks out there doing private sales, but this is particularly for these pop-up sites and scam sites, as I'm calling them. If a business is claiming to take PayPal and they're shipping you powder or shooting sports supplies, they are going to be a scam, because PayPal absolutely prohibits any kind of transactions relating to guns or firearms. So if they're claiming that, they could be skimming your PayPal login information to then later steal from your PayPal account. Or it's just a red flag for you to say, hey, wait a second, PayPal doesn't allow payments for these items. These people are claiming to do that. I need to step away and back out of this. Also, not knocking cryptocurrency by any means or anything. I'm not into it very much myself here, but I want to say that don't go out of your way and follow somebody else's tutorial, especially on a new website that you're traveling to transfer money into Bitcoin. There's some issues there that we're seeing, and I just want everybody to be aware of that. Especially right now, I know we need supplies and things, but make sure that you're only using trusted payment options and payment options that give you some protection. I don't necessarily like large credit cards or using it, but when you're purchasing things online, use your credit card with some purchase protection from one of the major banks out there. If you do get scammed, they're going to help you, or try to help you generally, get that money back. The last thing, and possibly the most concrete thing or way for you to identify one of these scam sites, isn't the phone number. A lot of times those phone numbers will be set up to give you the runaround and make you feel like you're contacting an actual shop. It's going to be the address that they give you. A lot of times on the website, especially down at the bottom in what we call the footer of the website, where all the contact information is, they're going to give you an address where they claim their store is located. I had one, I think in Kansas or somewhere else here in the Midwest, that I looked up. The address that they gave you for this massive shooting sports supply shop actually went to a residential neighborhood in like a cul-de-sac of a subdivision. I searched it on Google Maps or other satellite software, whatever you want to use, and it came up and showed me a guy mowing a lawn. So really, if you've gone through all the other steps and everything checks out, check that address, because if it doesn't go to a business district or to a business, and it goes especially to a housing development or the middle of a cornfield, odds are it's going to be a scam site. So please keep an eye out for yourself, keep an eye out for your friends. If somebody messages you and says, hey, I found a really great deal on some primers or some powder, do you want to go in on it with me? Check out the site that they're buying from. Try to help your friends and those that are in the community from getting scammed. There's a lot of this going on right now, and it's really, really sad. If you have any questions about a website, please feel free to email me at ilovemuzzleloading@gmail.com. I'm happy to go through it and check it out and see what I think about it. If it's going to help you not get scammed, I'm more than happy to take a look at it. I usually get back to all my emails within a day or two. So if you can take that much time and you want a second pair of eyes, you don't have anybody else that can look at it, send it to me. I'm more than happy to look at it and let you know if I recommend it or not. The best thing to do is stick to the reputable brands that are out there that we've been buying from in the community for generations now. Dixie Gun Works, Log Cabin Shop, Muzzleloaders.com, Track of the Wolf. And there's many, many more Those are kind of the big ones out there that I direct people towards because they are real, honest, great people that are going to help you out. As you can tell, the weather is beautiful now, at least here in the Midwest. And with that, muzzleloading events are starting to kick back up. As of recording, we've gone through the School of the Longhunter out east, and we've got the raid at Martin Station, several more events out there in the Northeast and New England, and many more are popping up now here in my area as well as all over the country. I want to let you know about a new website called reenactingschedule.org. Frank Jarbeau is putting together this website and doing a great job of organizing and cataloging as many reenacting and living history events as he can. And the site is already packed with great events from all over the country and several all over the world now, for you to kind of plan your weekends or plan some family trips to involve some living history and some muzzleloading. So I really encourage you to check that out. I'm really excited about what Frank is doing. It's hard for me to keep up even just with the muzzleloading specific shoots and events, and I'm really happy to see some new ideas coming to the reenacting scheduling space now to help more people get out and enjoy this hobby. Last month I reported on some proposed changes to Washington State's muzzleloader rules that were ultimately struck down to allow a 1-power scope on muzzleloaders. I want to let everybody know out there that New Mexico is now proposing similar changes to their muzzleloading rules for big game hunting. There are proposed rules now as of late April that are being heard and discussed now in New Mexico about removing scopes from muzzleloading seasons and the big game seasons. I want to let you know about it because it's easy for us to think that we don't have a voice or a say in some of these rules and how they're changed and how they're made up. But New Mexico has it really outlined very well for you to put out your opinion on it, whether you're for or against it, in these conversations at the state level. So I have some links at ilovemuzzling.com that are going to walk you through that process so you can make your voice heard if you're a citizen and a muzzleloading enthusiast in New Mexico. In muzzleloader collecting news, as of recording, a pair of cap and ball revolvers owned by Ulysses S. Grant just sold at auction for more than $4 million. This was at our friends at the Rock Island Auction Company. I encourage you to check out these pistols if you're interested in Civil War history and muzzleloader history, or just revolver firearms history in general. I encourage you to check out the Rock Island Auction Company. This isn't sponsored or anything, but these pistols are a really neat piece of history that we haven't had a chance to see really before. And Rock Island did a great video on how the pistols went from Ulysses S. Grant now into a private collection and then up for auction and then now into some lucky collectors' hands. Last up, I want to report, because I've gotten a few comments on the video from the Fall Frolic last year. The showrunners for the Fall Frolic have opted to cancel the show now. Not for a bad reason. The show was originally started to combat the event cancellations and support artists and craftspeople in the community during a year of COVID shutdowns. And after 2 years of a really successful show, thankfully now we see all of the larger shows now coming back online and having really good attendance. So the Hanklas and the Houses have decided that the Fall Frolic has kind of served its purpose. That's not to say that it won't pop up again sometime in the future, but there won't be a Fall Frolic this year. But they're going to be supporting and promoting, and I'm going to try to be at as many of the other long rifle and muzzleloading events this fall as we can. In some housekeeping news, as we continue to publish videos here with I Love Muzzleloading, I wanted to say that we have the entire I Love Muzzleloading video catalog, past, present, and future, available on the website Utreon. This is a video streaming service that is more firearms and history and culturally relevant, I guess, to this channel, because it's supportive and doesn't censor this kind of content as we talk about building and making and shooting firearms and muzzleloaders in particular. So I encourage you to check out the I Love Muzzleloading videos on Utreon. Our video catalog is also available on Odyssey. I just bring this up because as we grow, I fear that we'll get some more attention from YouTube and maybe some of the censors that are out there. So if anything ever happens to the I Love Muzzleloading videos on YouTube, you can check them out on Odyssey and Utreon and still keep up with them. Looking at my notes here, that's all I have for you here for May. I hope that the beginning of the muzzleloading event and competition season is going well for you. As always, as we head into the new year, remember the businesses and the craftspeople that have supported the muzzleloading community. And if you're looking out for some new gear, some new clothing, maybe a new impression, check out some of the businesses and craftspeople that support the community. I understand that cost is a major factor for all of us right now, especially now it seems. But remember those small mom and pop businesses and those individual individual craftspeople out there. They really care about the sport and the community, and by purchasing your items from them, you're giving back to the community and helping support them and their support of us and the future of the community. Once again, I'm Ethan. I love muzzleloading. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you next time.